Hi everyone, in this video we'll be exploring distance versus displacement in the context of physics. Firstly, distance is the total length of a path travelled. This means it is a scalar quantity and the magnitude, and therefore the value of the distance is always positive. An example of distance travelled would be walking 5 km around a track. On the other hand, displacement is the straight line distance from initial to final position. This means it is a vector quantity. Magnitude and direction is specified, and thus the value of the displacement can be positive, negative, or 0. An example of displacement travelled would be walking 5 km around a track and ending up back at the start, resulting in 0 displacement. Let's now do a practice example which builds on what we have learnt. So the example that we have here is a person walks 3 km north and then 4 km east. What is the total distance travelled and the displacement? Firstly, we know that the person walks 3 km north and then 4 km east. Thus the total distance travelled is the sum of these distances, being 3 km plus 4 km, which equals 7 km. Therefore distance travelled is 7 km. Next, we know that the displacement is the straight line distance from the starting point to the final point. Therefore, this can be calculated using the Pythagorean theorem, being displacement squared equals 3 squared plus 4 squared. Simplifying when we square root both sides and take the positive case, because distance can only be a positive number, and displacement can also only be a positive magnitude. That gives us 5 kilometers. Thus, the magnitude of the displacement is 5 kilometers. Now, to find the direction of the displacement, we can use trig, specifically by finding the angle theta with respect to the north direction. Using the following statement of tan theta equals 4 kilometers divided by 3 kilometers, we get theta equal to 53.1 degrees east of north. This comes from the following diagram, which I'll draw here. So if I walk, let's say, 4 kilometers, as the question tells us, to the east, and then 3 kilometers to start, so walk 3 kilometers up, going up by 3, and then we go 4 kilometers to the east from there, like that. We can see we have a right angle triangle forming, where the resultant is given by the black vector. So once we use SOHCAHTOA, where in this case the ratio will be 10, we find this angle in here, theta, to be 53 degrees, 53.1 degrees, going east, towards the east this way, of north, from north. And the magnitude of that vector is 5, using the Pythagoras theorem, because that right there is a right angle triangle. As a result, the final answer is the distance is 7 kilometers travelled and the displacement is 5 kilometers in the direction of 53.1 degrees east of north. I hope this video was useful in building up your understanding about displacement and distance. Thanks for watching. See you later.